The definition of anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an event or something with an uncertain outcome. It's a nervous disorder characterized by a state of excessive uneasiness and apprehension, typically with compulsive behavior or panic attacks. That's the clinical definition of anxiety. However, I can tell you what it's like to live with anxiety. Contest chair, my fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. I have anxiety. My anxiety manifests itself in a paralyzing fear of new places and meeting new people. I also have an underlying worry of basically everything in my life. I worry about my finances, my career, my husband, my child, my dogs, my house, my car, etc., etc., etc. It's pretty much all consuming. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's very bad. I have tried over the years to work on my anxiety, but that hasn't always been successful. About 10 years ago, I weighed 360 pounds. I'm 5'3", so I want everyone to really get the feel for that. 360 pounds at 5'3". I was huge. And see, when you weigh that much and you go out in public, people don't open doors for you. They don't speak to you. They don't make eye contact with you. You are judged all the time. And having to deal with that every time I went out just taught me to stop going out. So I just stayed in my nice, safe bubble. And that's where I remained up until the point where one day I woke up and realized that my then marriage was falling apart. Imagine that, 5'3", 360 pounds, you're afraid to go outside, and oh my goodness, your marriage is falling apart. At that point, I decided I didn't want to live like this anymore. I would absolutely love to tell you that I started to work out and drank this really great diet drink and the pounds just melted off. Here it is, and you can get it for $19.95 plus shipping. But no, I actually had gastric bypass surgery, and that's how I lost the majority of my weight. That's a story for another day, though, because that came with its own issues. But while I was going through my weight loss journey, I also decided to go back to school. And I finished and I received my MBA. Not bad for someone that only made it through 9th grade. So I'm rocking the new body. I got the MBA. I should be living life. I should be one happy little camper. But I'm not, because the anxiety is still there. And now it's worse because now in my mind, I have a whole group of other things to worry about. So I just can't make myself be happy because I always have those voices. Not, the voices that tell you to kill people, the voices that tell you you're not good enough. I have those voices. And I decided that I really needed to do something. I want to get out in the world. I want to be able to talk to people. I want to be able to have a voice. So I started looking around and I found Toastmasters. I'm like, oh, this sounds like this could be for me. I can do this. So I found Richmond Hill Toastmasters. And at that time, Justin Hagen was the person that you contacted about membership. So I got my courage together and I sent Justin an email and I explained to him that I'm terrified of going into a group and stuff like that. And I hit send. Then with every fiber of my being, I prayed to the Lord Almighty that Justin would blow me off and not respond to my email. Now, for y'all that may not know Justin, he's very organized, very put together, and an overall very nice person. So, of course, he responded to the email. He invited me to a meeting. He told me that I needed to come early to make sure I didn't walk in a room full of people. He gave me an itinerary. He told me how the meeting would work, everything. I'm ready to go. So I drive out to Richmond Hill and I park in the parking lot. Keep it in drive, not park, because I want to be able to sprint at the least sign of anything terrifying. So I'm sitting in the parking lot and I'm watching, and I see Justin go in. I'm like, okay, he doesn't look scary. So I go in, and of course, he's nice. He sets me down, and Pretty soon, other people come in and they're nice, and some of them are even funny. I'm like, oh, and I look at the itinerary, and at no point in the itinerary does it mention the part where they mock the new person and try to kill them. I checked twice because I still was a little suspicious. So pretty soon I get used to Toastmasters, and I sign up for Pathways, and I ask for a mentor. Here's the thing, when I asked for my mentor, I specifically asked for someone that would coddle me and let me just sit there and smile and look pretty. I got Terry. Terry, for those of y'all that have never had a mentor like Terry, does not coddle you. Terry does things like, oh, you can give that speech, rip the Band-Aid off. You can do it, you can do it, you can do it. So before I knew it, I was giving speeches every week. Then Terry told me that I was going to be in a speech contest. So I signed up for the speech contest. I really didn't think I was that good, but figured, whatever, I'll try it. So I get up in front of a group of people, some of them Toastmasters, some of them strangers, and I give my speech. I would love to tell you as the finale of this that I won. I was raised upon shoulders. Roses were thrown. Hi, Mom. Yes, I'm going to Disney World. But it was not that moment. I did not win. However, I did stand in front of a group and give a speech, which to me is huge. As a result of that, last week I was actually called by the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, the Jacksonville chapter. I've been elected to their board of training. I'm the training director for that chapter now. And she's going over all my duties. I'll have to network. I'll have to meet other speakers. I'll have to speak in front of that group. And as I'm hearing all my duties, my anxieties are creeping, and I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then I went, you know what? Yes, I can, because I'm a Toastmaster. And that's the biggest thing Toastmasters did for me. It made me brave. Thank you.